Hey, what's up, guys? We're back inside today. I know I said I was going to wait till this Saturday to crack open that Frankencake that we had pressed in our homemade tobacco press last time, but I just can't wait any longer. And I also got some new tobacco in the mail today that I want to try and see how it reacts to being pressed into a cake. So let's go ahead, crack open that Frankencake, see how it turned out. Okay, guys, so here's where we left it. The Frankencake has been in the press for 19 days now. And about every 2 or 3 days, I've been going in and cranking down on this to see if I can get any more compression out of it. And so now we're going to take all that compression off and see what has become of our Frankencake. So let's go ahead. Oh, I can't even. There we go. Let's go ahead and just unscrew this C-clamp. Okay, we've gotten that C-clamp out now, and that is pressed in there pretty good. So I'm just going to take a file and a hammer and just tap on it. See if I can get it to release. Yep, there's the bottom plug. You can see how dark that plug has become. That's all the tar and oils that have come out of the tobacco. And there's the cake in there. So now, just want to see if I can just tap it down. Yep, it's coming out. Alright. Let's see. Alright, we're going to keep playing with this, see how we get this out of here without tearing anything up. Okay, it's starting to come out, and you can see it's definitely pressed into cake form. What I've been doing is just smacking it with this file. And I think we're almost, there it is. Alright. There's our Frankencake. Look at that. Very dark. Really condensed. That's a nice cake. And again, you could see how dark those pieces of wood became just from all the tar and oils, and this is very sticky right now. Remember, this was a lot of aromatic tobaccos in it, so there's going to be a lot of juices and stickiness and toppings and all kind of other wet stuff in there. So anyway, there's our Frankencake. Look at that. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and just take a knife, cut this in two, and jar it up in a mason jar and let it sit for a little bit before I try it. Because I'm very excited, because today I got in these McBaron's Vanilla Flake and McBaron's HH Latakia Flake. Anybody that knows me knows I am a huge fan of aromatic English tobaccos. So Lane HDL is one of my favorite. Country Squire's got a few that I really like. Boswell's has a few that are really good. But I do like the taste of McBaron tobaccos. My only issue with McBaron is a lot of times I'll get a lot of tongue bite out of some of their tobaccos. So I'm hoping that pressing these into a cake will kind of help mitigate that tongue bite that I'm getting. I also got the idea just from Sutliff's double pressed tobaccos that I just reviewed. I reviewed their Dark Fire Kentucky. I got the idea to try to take 2 flakes and press them together and do my own double pressed. So I'm going to pop these open. Okay, guys, here are McBaron flakes. These are flakes and not a cake. When you pick them up, they're very thin little flakes here. So it's really easy to rub out flakes. Basically, you're just going to put it in your fingers, wad it up, and just kind of rub. And there you go. Now you've got a ready rub tobacco. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rub out. And I think I'm going to do 50% the Latakia flake and 50% the vanilla flake, and just see how that turns out. I also in the mail today got some of Stokkebye's luxury twist flake, which I love, 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 love. I might just throw one of those flakes in there just because I love this tobacco. I'll get working on that. Just real quick, here's the Frankencake after it's been cut in half. I can see 3 distinct layers in there, and I don't know quite why that happened, but that's all right. Cutting it in half was like trying to cut a solid rubber ball in half, so this is compressed really well. This is a nice cake. I cut it in half because when I put it in the mason jar, I want to be able to get in there and grab a piece of it easily and not have to try and work it through the top of the jar. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that before we move on. Okay guys, here's the result of all that rubbing. Really doesn't take very long at all. These flakes rub out really easily. But I've done, like I said, about half the vanilla flake and half the Latakia flake. And then I took two Stokkebye's luxury twist flakes and rubbed them out in there too. So then we just mix it thoroughly. You don't want any, well, you don't really want any big patches of any one particular tobacco sticking together. So we want to mix the vanilla, the Latakia, and the twist flake all together very well. Then we're going to pack that in our trusty clamp here. Clamp it down, let it sit. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to let this one sit for because I'm a little excited about it. So anyway, I'm going to do that. Glad you guys got to see the Frankencake. Again, guys, remember, this took up almost an entire quart-sized mason jar when it was loose cut. And now it barely takes up a quarter, maybe a third of a pint-sized mason jar. So that compressed down a lot into that cake, and that cake is very dense. I'm going to let that sit for probably another week. Just let it sit. Then I'm going to break some up, rub it out just like we did this, let it dry, and we'll do a review. Until that time, you guys know what to do. Keep it smoky.